I have walked and prayed for this young child an hour, and heard the sea wind scream upon the tower, and under the arches of the bridge, and scream in the elms above the flooded stream, imagining in excited reverie that the future years had come, dancing to a frenzied drum out of the murderous innocence of the sea. In this stanza, the poet is describing a situation that he is regularly praying for his daughter and also hearing the sea winds outside screaming. And whatever he sees, whatever he speaks in these lines are like this. From the first line of this stanza, we can see that he is saying that I have walked and prayed for this young child. This young child means his daughter. An hour. An hour means what is the duration of his praying? That is 1 hour. And heard the sea wind scream upon the tower. And he is regularly hearing the sea winds screaming upon the tower and under the arches of the bridge. In our first stanza, we have learnt about the speeding storm, and about the speeding storm, the poet is again mentioning whatever the location, whatever the path of the storm that he is speaking, that the sea wind screaming and coming, crossing the tower, and also crossing the arcs of the bridge and and screaming in the elms. Elms means there are also elm trees. The storm is crossing these three locations. That first is the tower, second is the arcs of the bridge, and third is the elm trees. In line number 13, he is saying that imagining in excited reverie that the future years had come, dancing to a frenzied drum out of the murderous innocence of the sea. In this line, the poet is in a state of excited reverie. In other words, he is lost in thought, but his thoughts are of a kind to excite or agitate him. The intensity of the storm makes him think that the years of the future have come out of the destructive innocence of the Atlantic Ocean in response to the wild beating of a drum. What is the dancing to a frenzied drum? Here I am going to explain that the beating of a drum was a call to the member of a tribe at that time to come quickly. And here the poet is again mentioning the situation, dancing to a frenzied dream. Likewise, the people are addressed, or people are called on the sound of the drum. Likewise, the poet is thinking that future years will also come so quickly out of the murderous innocence of the sea. Here in this line, the poet is using a metaphor. The metaphor of dancing to a frenzied drum has been employed merely to convey the wildness and fierceness of the storm that is blowing. And in last line of the stanza, that is the murderous innocence of the sea. Here the poet is using uh, contradictory words that are murderous and innocent. The sea is destructive or murderous and yet innocent. Why it is innocent? It is innocent because it has no personal ill will against anyone, and yet it is a destructive force which has given rise to the storm. So in the second stanza, the poet is mentioning a situation that in at that time when outside there was a storm, he was regularly walking and praying for this young child, for his young daughter, and he was thinking about the years, the future years that will come so quickly, as comparing to the dancing to a frenzied drum. So that's enough for today.